Good morning, my friends. I just wanted to come on and tell you a little bit. I was writing this morning and I felt really, really called to come on and talk to you rather than to do a written post this morning. And I was listening because I really have found in the last couple weeks that I need to listen closely and not speak as much and not do as much. And I hope that you are also finding this to be an opportunity, an opportune time for you to be doing that listening, because we don't want to force anything. And so I've been a little quieter than normal perhaps on here because I am just quietly listening and waiting for that inspiration to come before I do anything. And of course, there's some things we have to do each day and move forward. I'm continuing to teach my students on my teaching days and doing my paintings for customers, but there is also a time when we have to just allow that flow, allow ourselves the grace to move through. And so I think that's really important for all of us to remind ourselves that this is the time of stepping back from everything. This is a time of just moving with that flow. Good morning, you guys. Thank you for hopping in here. I don't normally come on at this time on a Sunday or on a weekend, but I just felt a real draw to give you this message. So yesterday I heard a young man on the news who, I believe he drives an Uber, and his business has really dropped for him, and he's feeling really scared right now, as many of us are. Hi Larissa, thank you. Good morning good to see you too. And he said, this young man said, I want to be angry, but there's really no one to be angry at. And I thought, isn't that the truth, right? Isn't that the frustration that people are feeling right now? Some people are relaxing into the flow of what's happening, and other people are feeling frustrated and angry. And I thought, what a self-aware young man he was, or he is, I should say, because he's recognizing that he has that emotion within him, and yet there's no one to project it onto, right? So, but there's a lot of people that aren't making that connection. They're not recognizing those deep emotions that are coming up and bubbling up, that those are within them, and they're projecting it out onto other people. And you know, right now our inner peace is absolutely being challenged every day, and it's now that we need to really lean into our spiritual practice, our self-awareness practice. We're feeling very out of control right now, and we're being triggered. And when we feel out of control, we want to blame other people. When we have those emotions come up, we want to blame other people. We want to act out in a lot of ways. Now, I know a lot of you here are not doing that you are so much more aware, but our old wounds, our childhood traumas, our old traumas, our fears, those are all being triggered right now. And there's a reason for that. All those old wounds and guilts and anxieties and fears, they're coming up at this time. They're bubbling up for a reason. And that is making us, when we have all those emotions come up, that is making us feel very out of control right now. But there's ways you can deal with this. And that's what the message came through for you right now is how do we deal with this stuff, right? And the very first way is to go back to that feeling of just allowing. Allow those feelings to come up. It's when we start to fight them and push them down that we create tension. And so let those feelings be. Don't stop them. When you wake up one morning and you're feeling really angry about this whole situation, allow that emotion to be there. Sit with it for a little while. You're angry. You're pissed off, right? This is not how you planned your life to go in these next few months. And maybe even it's like, your spouse said something and it irked you and you don't know why, but you just got really angry. You got triggered, right? That's what we call triggers. Maybe your kids are driving you crazy. Maybe, you're trying to do their schoolwork with them and it's hard, and it's hard to figure out what they're supposed to be doing. And so you get angry at their teacher. Understandable. We're all dealing with a lot. And just recognize. Don't say, I shouldn't be feeling this way, right? Don't try to stuff it down. Just say, okay, I'm really angry right now. And breathe into that. And then the next step is to recognize that it doesn't feel good. Hi, Val. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in here. So the second step is after you're like, okay, I've got these feelings. What's going on here? I don't want to feel this way. So recognizing that you don't like feeling that way. You don't like being angry. You don't like feeling frustrated. You don't like feeling bored, right? That's because you are that universal light force energy that is within you. And that universal light force energy is loving, it's kind, it's expansive, it's abundant, it's grace, it's creative. That's the core of that light force energy, and that is the core of who you are. So anytime that you are getting into these lower vibrations, these frustrating energies, this anger, this frustration, whatever, anxiety, any of those, that is not who you are at the core. So you're pulling away from that core and it's creating tension, and the tension doesn't feel good, right? And so you need to know that you are that light, that you deserve to feel good. And when Abraham Hicks says this all the time, it's about feeling good, right? It's about wanting to feel good. So how do we feel good when all this chaos is going on around us? How do we feel good when we're worrying about our family, our loved ones, our kids, our parents, our grandparents? Like, there's some very real fears going on. But just saying that, yes, I have these feelings right now, I'm having these fears, instead of trying to run away and push them away, and then saying, I don't want to feel them anymore. I don't want to be sitting in these feelings of negativity. I want to feel peace. I want to feel abundant. I want to get rid of these worries of scarcity and lack and the real fear that this virus is bringing in of my own health, right? What if I get the virus, right? What if my loved ones get it? So first, it's really important to do those first two steps. And so often we just want to shove it away and push it away and ignore it and pretend it's not there, or tell ourselves, stop doing that. That's not helping you. That's not serving anyone. Don't feel that way. You shouldn't be feeling that way. You should be stepping up. You should be, a leader for your family. That's not going to help. Allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to express those feelings. We just don't want to sit there for too long. So if you have to, journal it out, write it out, right? That will help you. And recognize, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. I want to shift. I want to change this. And that will bring you a feeling of peace already, right? That's going to relieve a little bit of that tension, that fighting of that energy. Good morning, Crystal. Hello. So there is another way to all of this. And this is the time that we are being given this opportunity to do a deep exploration of some of the stuff that's bubbling up inside of us, right? There's a way to release the old wounds, the old fears, the negative patterns, everything that is keeping you spiraling in these emotions. There's a way to help clear that out. And when you do that, awesome. When you do that, when you do the work, when you commit to your spiritual practice, then you open up to more light. And that is when you can find a peace even amidst the chaos. This is what I have been training for the last 25 years. This is what my teacher, my shamanic teacher, taught me way back in the early 90s. Nola, I can't see that. I dreamt last night that in all of my books, the pages were blank. Our future can be rewritten. Yes, we just need to turn the page. Absolutely. And sometimes that feels really scary and we don't want to go there. Maybe we know inherently there's stuff from our background that we don't want to have to deal with. And when we do this work, it doesn't mean it has to be messy. It can be beautiful and enlightening. When I first became aware of some of the guilt that I was holding, I didn't even realize I was holding on to it, but it was impacting my life every single day. It was holding me back. It was showing up around me in my 3D world because it was all inside. So we have to clean house first in order for things to be resolved on the outside. And when I did that, when I recognized that, oh my gosh, I truly am holding this guilt and shame, and I didn't even realize it. Within a matter of a half an hour, I had shifted. I had worked through that particular guilt from that situation that came up for me. I'd worked through it and cleared it out, and it was a miracle. It was an absolute miracle, because after that, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I absolutely, everything shifted in my world. Everything. My relationships, my business expanded, and the more beautiful part was, I started to love myself more. And that is at the core of it all. We have to get to a point where we love ourselves, we've forgiven ourselves for anything of our past, because that is no longer serving us, and start to move forward from a bigger, more expanded way. And when we do that work, we open up to more light. We make space for more light in our life. And then we become the solid pillar of light that is standing in calm and grace when everything else is falling apart. Because we know what's real now. We know what the truth is, and we're not afraid anymore. And sure, you have days when you go back to that, and because we're human, but when we get up every day and we go, okay, I know the steps I need to take, and I'm becoming more and more aware, and I am going to strive for that mastery level, because that mastery level in the guild, in the creation guild, the mastery level is when we continue to get up every day and be open to learn more, be open to grow more. And that is the difference between standing in that fear and anxiety every day and then stepping into, okay, no, I don't want this anymore. I'm going to start moving forward. I'm going to make the changes I need to make so that I can bring that peace and that grace into my life and into the lives of the people around me that I love. So imagine what it would be like to not be triggered by the people around you. to be in your home, quarantined with your most favorite people in the world and be, just loving every minute of it, not getting triggered. And imagine like having that level of trust, of not, the trust that you're not going to fall back into the mud. You're not going to fall back into the anxiety and the fear multiple times throughout your day. That you're going to get there. You're going to be in a space of love and grace and peace, right? That's what committing to your practice is about. And you can absolutely be there in a very short period of time. In fact, like I said, when I recognized, when it came to my awareness that I was holding this guilt and shame, there was a few steps I took and it shifted everything. It turned everything, right? And when we play in our creative flow, like I teach, with painting and with drawing in an art journal, we open up to a much deeper wisdom because we're keeping the left brain busy with the playfulness. So it's not about creating beautiful wings so much as it is about just playing in that creative flow, keeping that left brain busy while you play and opening up to the deeper wisdom within you. Your paintings, your artwork becomes like a form of, a tool of divination, of guidance and inspiration, and you'd be surprised at what comes out in that. And so I invite you, bottom line here is to come play with me. Come and look at my course, Clearing Debris Through Forgiveness. That is the one we work with, May Cause Miracles, the book May Cause Miracles. It is a beautiful way for us to work through these shifts over 6 weeks. And I want you all to be doing this. I really, truly do. It is so important for us to clear out the debris, clear out all of the deeper hidden patterns and hurts and not necessarily traumas. It could be minor events, it could be major events, it could be childhood trauma, it could just be the way you were raised, the patterns that were ingrained within you. It is time to let that stuff go, and the universe is working with us, so it's happening very quickly, which is right now the opportune time for us to do this. We are all at home, we could do it. And so I will post the link in here for my course, Clearing Debris Through Forgiveness, and I invite you to look at it and see if it's something that you want to do. And I don't want money to be the reason that you don't do this. So I do offer, 2-pay and 3-pay plans, but reach out to me. We can extend that further. We can make a plan work for you. Maybe you already have this book because part of the course is that I send this book to you, and we can work with that. We can take the price of the book off. Like, just reach out to me, because we really, really need to be working together and cleaning house, both literally and metaphorically, and doing it through our weekly, this is actually 40 days. It's weekly, but there are 40 days in here of mind shifts. And what we do is we connect a creative activity to these days that helps us go even deeper. And it's a beautiful process. And you can do it along with your kids. So when we pick an activity where we're painting something or drawing something in our art journal, your kids can be doing it with you. What a beautiful gift to them to see you working through and cleaning house, and to be modeling for them how you commit to your spiritual practice every day, right? We want to love ourselves unconditionally. We want to expand the love within ourselves unconditionally. And that is what this is about. So, thank you for joining me. That was the message I wanted to bring to you today. And I truly hope that you will join me. And I will post the link here. And again, please reach out to me. And those of you that have already done the course, because we've run through it twice now, those ladies are saying, I'm coming back. I'm doing it again with you in April, because they know the shifts that they've had are amazing. And so several of them have already said, I'm doing this again because I know I didn't put as much time into the 3rd week or the 2nd week or the 5th week as I could have. And I can tell you that coming through this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, my 5th time through this. Every single time something shifts and opens up for me in a new way. That is where the learning comes in. So thank you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you'll join me. We don't start until April 19th, but in between now and then, we'll be doing Paint a Prayer, and I've got new courses coming too. I'm being inspired. So I think that I will have a course based on my book. Thank you, Joanna. It's a beautiful course, and there's really no better time to join. I will be working through it again. Thank you. Awesome. And you are a beautiful soul, Joanna. Thank you for being here. All right, you guys, you have a beautiful day. Connect to your family. I'm going to have a family meeting on Zoom with my family, and enjoy. Bye.